Your favorite stores are half stocked in certain areas. People are losing their jobs out of nowhere, and prices are rising when our paychecks are not. And really, these are not just random events, they're signals of what's coming. And it's bigger than just job losses, like what you're seeing. It's a complete restructuring of how we live, how we work, how we survive. And if you think that things are feeling off, I mean, you're right, because things just are. This is not the normal America that a lot of people are used to. It's not the America that we've grown up in. It's not even the America that we've seen before during uncertain times.
It's not the overspending, it's the cost of living. Here is
So I ain't gonna lie, she started off cooking. I definitely agree with her that we are living in a different time right now. Everything seems overinflated. Jobs are being lost. If you look on social media, people talk about that all the time, and we are hitting a rough patch. There is a rough patch right now. You cannot deny it. Nobody can deny that. Everything just feels like it's expensive, and people are living paycheck to paycheck as is. Before this drought even happened, most people were living paycheck to paycheck. So, man, imagine having two kids, like my single mothers out there, and people that like got a lot of responsibilities and stuff. I don't know how that would feel because I don't have any kids, and I mean I take care of myself only. But it's just crazy to think that there's people out here that are facing this type of struggle and got a lot of responsibilities on that. But let's keep watching.
Breakdown of the average Gen Z and millennials cost of living in today's world. So number one is rent. Everyone knows that Gen Z and millennials have to have a roommate. So splitting a 2-bedroom apartment with utilities is around $1,500. If you have a car, a $12,000 to $15,000.
Splitting is $1,500. Y'all got $3,000 apartments? Let me know in the comments. I didn't know people had $3,000 apartments.
Used car is still going to run you $400 a month. Car insurance and gas is another $300. Student loan payment $500. You're going to have groceries for $500. You're going to have personal care, doctor's appointments, hair, gym about $150, and then cell phone and miscellaneous $150. That's $3,500 a month, which is baseline. Do you know how much
I ain't gonna lie, a lot of these things are accurate. Cars, a lot of people have high car payments, and 400, I say that's fair. Gas, fair. Student loans, people are having to pay that back now, which 500 is probably like close to 60,000 in student loan payments. So I'll give them that. This list looks about accurate. 3,500 a month. And like I said, I'm curious. Please, in the comment section, let me know how much y'all are paying a month in expenses. But this is a lot of money. This is a lot of money a month to be paying just to survive and live a bare minimum life.
$3,500 a month is $70,000 a year or $34 an hour. Because after you take out taxes, put $300 for health insurance and do a healthy $500 401k contribution, that leaves you with $3,500. This is no fun, no savings, no maintenance, no clothes, no kids, no traveling, no vacations, no bachelor parties, no weddings, no funerals, no clothes, no school supplies, nothing. And this is paycheck to paycheck. And on top of it, they're holding $40,000 of student loan debt, a $15,000 car. And if they ever wanted to buy a house with closing costs and the down payments, another $50,000. So they need $105,000. So even if they were somehow able to scrounge up after $70,000 of paycheck to paycheck, $5,000 to go to a concert, to have avocado toast, whatever it is, $5,000 a year, it would take them 20 years to pay off this debt and save up for a house. 20 years of living with the roommate where that rent's going.
My man's is cooking right now. He is definitely cooking, and I am shocked how people are surviving. So they are getting it done. So I'll give people credit because this doesn't leave you no room. For real, it keeps you stuck. And this is why I think it is super important. I tell people all the time, do not stop getting these big finance and stuff. Stop financing things so much. Stay down a little bit and then try to work to pay it off quicker, because the more you finance, the more you're going to stay stuck in this cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, being broke. Because for say a car payment of $15K, like I said, he's talking about the what do you say, millennials, Gen Z and stuff. I don't really know a lot of that, but he's saying the younger generation are buying $15,000 cars. I think you should go lower. You should go lower because you can wipe that $400 a month car payment to zero if you, let's say, get a $6,000 car and work to pay it off in like the first 6 months. Now we don't got to worry about 400 getting taken out. Now that's 400 I can pocket. Student loans, start going to community colleges. I know y'all want to have fun in these colleges, but start being more strategic on what you want to do in life as well. If you don't know what you want to do, don't go to college and just pile up debt because, like I said, you're going to be stuck in this cycle of having to pay off loans for the rest of your life. So we need to start being proactive. And this is the most important time to start being proactive, which I do feel bad for the younger people because you make some of these decisions like a car, like student loans, and you're stuck for a long, long, long time due to inflation, due to stuff being so high. So this is the time to start focusing like a laser, making the smart decisions, scaling back, and trying to get ahead because shit, this stuff is going to, you're going to regret this stuff for years to come.
Going up, and they're making $70,000 a year as a college graduate. The average person in this country makes $50,000. It is not the overspending. It is a cost of living crisis.
You can't just always listen to only what the news tells you. You have to look at what's actually going on here in America. And again, I'm talking about the job losses, the rising debt, corporate restructuring, and how all this points really to a much bigger collapse. Major companies like Amazon, Google, UPS, fast food chains, I mean, they're all laying off people by the thousands now. And it's not because they're going bankrupt, but it's because everybody's throwing around this term that they're restructuring, which is basically another word for doing more with less people. And many people are being replaced with AI and automation. And guess what? It's not just a trend that's, came and gone. It's going to be the new normal. In fact, I know people who were making great money in 2022, hardworking people, they were loyal employees, and now they're just driving Uber or doing DoorDash to get by. I saw the other day that
this is very true. And AI is here to stay. Technology is here to stay. So we need to start being proactive. Like I said, yes, it sucks. It sucks you worked at these hard jobs and now they don't really need you. It sucks for my people because I see people complaining. Let's be proactive. So now, if we see this change starting to come, we have to adapt. Maybe it's time to start learning how to actually learn the AI, how to use it to your advantage, how maybe to try to find a job in that space that you know might be the next big thing, or start shifting toward trade jobs because trade jobs, yes, AI can creep into there as well, but also these are things that need to be done now. And it's also a skill level that you also have to get it done. So I prefer I like trade jobs, but also start looking into technology, start learning technology, start trying to figure out how to work technology to your advantage because, like she said, it ain't going nowhere. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
This one woman that she was working for a company, and after 18 years with that same company, no warning at all, they just let her go and she's gone. And she's not alone. We're seeing this across the board. People are broadcasting all of their job losses. And it's not just about losing your job, but it's about losing your safety net, right? Your income, your routine, your confidence. A lot of people cling to their jobs for their identity, and they're losing that right now. And it's really tough because they've invested so much time and loyalty to these companies, and they're just being let go. Really, this is not a typical recession that people have seen before. What we're witnessing is a whole economic unraveling, and it's very, very deep. The entire system is shifting. The middle class is shrinking. Home ownership is slipping out of reach for everyone. And everything that we depend on, from healthcare to housing, energy, everything's becoming more fragile. Jobs that used to be our security are vanishing, and retirement is just being drained. Retirement count.
Very true. But I want to point out the one thing she was talking about where a lady was at a job for 18 years and got let go. Let's not get comfortable at jobs. And I say this to say that we need to start understanding that let's start using jobs to our advantage and not just get comfortable and allow jobs to use us, take all of our resources, all of our time, our energy, and just throw us away. What we need to start doing is we need to say, all right, this is my 5-year plan. The money I'm generating from this job, I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it into here and here. So I know that I'm going to be progressing. I know that this is going to be my safety net. This is going to be money I'm investing, putting away. But also, it might be time to start looking for another job in 5 years. Like, I think a lot of people do get comfortable in the fact that they're getting paid the same amount every week and they know they got a job. But no, we need to start looking at different options, start upgrading, start advancing in our life. And yeah, like I said, she's not lying. Especially buying a home now is harder than ever, like she said. And there's a gap. The wealthy are going to remain wealthy. It is what it is. But the poor, it is harder to make that leap. It is harder because of the cost of living. So like I said, this ain't all this stuff. Nothing in your life is going to get better if you also don't budget, if you don't prepare for it, if you don't plan, if you don't make goals. So all this stuff that people tell you doesn't matter if you're not doing those things as well. So yeah, I like talking about solutions. I like talking about solutions, and we can talk about problems, we can look at problems, but we got to start figuring out how we're gonna do better.
Counts. People need to pay their bills and their retirement accounts are draining. And I won't even talk about the gig economy because that's really struggling as well. Nowadays, a lot of people are just finding themselves in a point of survival. I mean, you either are hustling or you're falling behind. And behind the scenes, of course, the big banks and corporate giants, they're just consolidating power. Landlords are buying up entire neighborhoods, big corporate landlords, and digital currency and surveillance and tech, they're quietly just kind of being rolled out into everyday life. Little by little, it's like we're all just being nudged towards a future where freedom's being replaced by control. And like I said, it's a complete restructuring, and it's happening in other places besides the United States as well. It's not just here, but I'm here and I'm seeing it here. So that's what I can talk on. And a lot of people, I think, are just not prepared physically and emotionally for what we're going to be going through.
And they're not. And I want to talk about a big thing is I think we're weaker than ever as well. We're living in a time where men aren't as strong. Women are stronger in terms of what they give off, the mentality, their mindset, they want to work and things of that nature. But as a culture, I think we're very weak. And like she said, the people that are empowered, the people that are already set up good, they're going to keep winning. They're going to keep winning, especially if you're being raised in a culture where people are telling you not to work. I'm watching videos where people are saying quit your 9 to 5. What's the other option? Stay home? I don't, like I said, it's a big bubble, and I think a bubble is going to burst. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think that things are so uneven. People are living in this world where they're not going to be able to live. I think a lot of people are not going to be able to sustain and maintain, and there's going to be a bunch of those people that something drastic is going to have to happen. I don't know what it is. If y'all have any idea or want to shoot some thoughts, let me know. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're still watching this video. I appreciate you guys for staying here and listening to me. And yeah, see you on the next one.